How's it going, guys? Hopefully this is going live now. Kind of want to reach out. I had a lot of thoughts going on lately. Had the book done. I've given it to some beta readers. So what that means is people I've reached out to say, hey, read what I got here and give me some of your feedback. And I can use that feedback to make some changes, make it better, do what I have to do so when it gets released, it hits the ground running. So between that and starting to design an officer development school for my department, I put a survey out, basically the same survey that I did for the book, and I was able to get a lot of feedback for the book for it. I did it to the department, and I'm getting results from it. So some of the results I'm seeing, some guys are responding, and I'm not getting them much response as I thought I would, but anything's better than nothing. If you hear some music, that's my neighbor down the street who has a wicked sound system in his truck. We've had conversations. As long as it keeps it down during my daughter's nap time, we're good. So, now it's off. But I'm getting the results from the survey, and a lot of it I'm getting as a lot of people are like, well, it doesn't matter, nothing's going to change. And these people, they're right and they're wrong. They're right and nothing's going to change, but they're wrong in saying nothing's going to change. If you want different results, you have to change what you're doing. And too often we talk the talk, hey, we want to see change in this, but we're not willing to do the work ourselves and go, hey, we got to do something different then. You can't come in every day and just go through the motions and think things are going to get better. So between that survey and just getting feedback from guys talking, I want to talk about mindset for this one. And bear with me here. Imagine this. All of us, we're all the same. The only reason we're different is based on the experiences that we've had and our reactions to those experiences. You might have to digest that one for a little bit, but I really think that's the case. We have all experienced different things in our lives. Some have had maybe easier than others and harder than others, but it's also based on how we react to these things that happen to us. Maybe you got passed up on promotion and you gave up taking promotional exams then. I'm sure you're not the first person that's been passed up in a promotion or didn't make it. But too often when we don't make something the first time, we give up and we throw in the towel. And then there's a few that are successful that don't stop. They don't take no for an answer, and they keep going until they get the results they want. That's kind of the mindset you have to have. Everything is, you can go into something and fail and say, oh, just give up on it and never do it again, or you can figure out a way to get what you want, and that's in being adaptive to the circumstances and changing the mindset that you have on whatever you're dealing with. Recently we had a PR, and I'm not going to go into too many details because there's some guys I work with that'll watch this, but it wasn't what I would describe as PR that the fire department needed to be at. However, I'm not the one that makes those decisions. I'm the one that carries it out, though. So decided, well, I can go into this going, hey, this is dumb, why are we here? Or I can go in going, hey, let's make the best of this situation. And I'm very fortunate that I have a crew that has that same mindset. And that's what we did. We showed up and we cleared tables and brought drinks and food to people, mostly assisting the waitresses and whatnot. It was to raise money for Children's Cancer Hospital. So, of course, it all hits all of us who wouldn't want to help something like that. Just wasn't what our normal is, talking about fire safety or some type of medical stuff for kids. So it was a little different, but we all kind of had that mindset of let's go in, let's make the best of it. And it ended up not being such a horrible experience because doing it that way. And, I battled with that until the day we did it, because I was like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Until we got there and we're like, hey, we're here. We're getting paid. Let's make the best of this. And it kind of worked out. I actually also am very fortunate that the company officer I relieve and the company officer that relieves me, we're all into the job to one degree or another. And we're trying to make the best of both of our situations. A lot of things guys struggle with, and there's actually a book out there called Good to Great. And I haven't read it yet. I've gotten a synopsis of it, and I've read enough similar to it to understand the idea behind it. And what it is most of you guys can relate to this. We have something called minimum standards in the fire service, and most people meet minimum standards. They're a one-year fireman their whole career. That's their choice. and there's others that want to master the craft and keep going on and challenging themselves and learning more. And I want to call them the great. So you have the good, which is minimum. You might not agree with me on that's good, but let's just call it that. Good to great. The good don't understand the great, and the great don't understand the good. How many times have you sat there and you're like, why doesn't this guy want to learn more about this job? He can make it easier. Meanwhile, that guy's going, why are you doing so much? You can just get by with this amount of work. So that's like the big struggle we have in the fire service is the good don't understand the great, and the great don't understand the good. Just understand that the department sets the standards. If they meet it, they meet it. You can try and make people better, but don't get frustrated because they don't want to be where you're at. And the good shouldn't get frustrated because there's guys out there trying to be better. That's a challenge we all have. Understanding human behavior, human culture kind of helps you deal with it. I don't have the answer for it. I just know it helps me deal with it. You know, when I do something and I got someone kind of making negative comments because I train every day, or I take my guys to our training field on an assigned day, you know, that's their perspective of the situation. It's understanding that by us going out there, we make life easier for ourselves later. But that kind of also deals with mindset and trying to help you guys understand when you're going against these people that are going to talk about you. And if you do anything, people are going to talk about you. So I would suggest give them something good to talk about. No matter what you do. If you don't want people to talk about you, don't do anything. And that's probably the only way. Otherwise, get over it. It's their perspective, their opinion. Doesn't mean it reflects anything on you. So I talked about, I'm fortunate with the captains at my station. Me and another captain, the guy that relieves me, we're actually going to be teaching a 2.5 class coming up. And most of it's based on Aaron Field's Nozzle Forward program. We've both taken it twice, and you know, we try to share it with guys. So we're doing a class this week, end of the week, and you know, our whole intent is just to share the knowledge with guys. And you know, we're going to explain to them, we're not trying to make policies, we're just showing you best practices, and you can implement this, you cannot implement it, whatever you want to do. And we're kind of expecting some pushback a little bit from people, because a lot of guys take any new class, anything like that, as you have to do it this way, instead of, hey guys, here's an option for you. You can choose to keep doing it the way you've done it, or we can try and get buy-in and see if you go this route with it, which is going to make your job easier. I think that's part of the key. Is too many of us think just because someone's sharing with someone that it's a policy and we have to do it that way. You do it however you want. You come to my station and we're going to go over best practices, and hopefully you utilize that. It's going to make things better. Do I adopt everything in that Nozzle Forward program? No, I don't care how my guys advance a hose line. I do care that the communication we use and the positions that we have. But that seems to be easy buy-in when you show guys. You spread out a little bit, you communicate, life's a lot easier. So we're going to be going over that class, and maybe next week I'll do a little recap to see how it went. I'm only teaching one of the days. The other officer, he's actually doing all three, because it's kind of his program he put together, and I'm excited to do it. We've rolled it out before. We see the younger guys adopt it quicker than the older guys with it, but I think that's kind of anywhere with something like that. I touched on it a little bit, but this kind of rolls with the mindset. A lot of guys want to say, well, if we have a policy on this item, it's going to get done. If you have a culture on that item, that's what's going to dictate it. My department, we've got plenty of policies. Do these policies all get followed? No. The cultural department dictates how these guys are going to operate with it. So I guess the answer is it's not black and white. Just because there's a piece of paper saying it, it's a choice of that individual to follow that. Do you ever speed? Do you ever go a mile over the speed limit? Yeah. Do you see a cop, you slow down? Yeah. Probably the culture. Policies work to an extent, but don't think the end-all be-all is having a policy. It's getting the culture, it's building that culture, and it's getting that buy-in to whatever you're doing. So guys just sort of start following you instead of being demanded to follow you, if that kind of makes sense with it. I don't know, I see that a lot with stuff we're trying to do. I never try to see, I think it's great. I can just speak from my perspective that my department lets us, the company officers, run their station. Who's to say I'm doing it the best way? Maybe someone else is, but we have that freedom to implement it, and then guys can choose where they go with that. But I just kind of want to talk about how our mindset dictates how we respond and how we do stuff. And anytime you're struggling with something, And you know, it's really frustrating to just think about how you're looking at that issue as opposed to maybe changing the way you're looking at it. Maybe, hey, you're having a struggle right now because that's going to make you stronger later. You know, some of the most difficult employees I've had to deal with have made me a better officer because I had to figure out how the heck do I get through this guy that's just so hard-headed, it's unbelievable. Well, you figure out ways, and I think it's better to try to figure out a way than to just demand a way. Is it hard? Yeah. Is it going to make you better? Yeah. It's just like going to the gym. You lift up heavy weights, it's going to make you stronger. You don't, you're not getting any stronger. So that's kind of all I got today, guys. Hope you got something out of this. I don't think anybody's asked any questions on it. I'll scroll back through here. Otherwise, you guys have a good Sunday, and I will talk to you next time.